Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome to our webinar hosted by Reveres Academy, co-organized by Cambodia Chamber of Commerce and curated by Up Your Game 2016. Okay, today we'll be presenting to you beating stress and build confidence through COVID time. You can find us on our social media, Reveres Academy, our website, Facebook, YouTube, and Telegram. So do scan the QR code and join us in our upcoming, and also can review our past webinar. Okay, today our topic will be on beat stress and build confidence through COVID-19. So more than 80% of our world-class performers have some form of daily mindfulness practice. So the list include Winfrey Oprah, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and some other elites and also athletes. It's about time that you experience the magic of mindfulness and know why mindfulness is so important in the organization and family, and how it can transform your personal and professional life. So in today's, the key topic that we will be talking about is understanding your mind and in present states. And we also have a simple steps to transform your inner self and gain clarity and confidence. And there will be some powerful pointers to drive sustained action for change. So we are glad to have Mr. Kalyan to help us to give the talk. So in his life journey, he can be described anything but conventional. So he's a CFO of a technology company and a professional coach. So from a lower middle class upbringing in India to practice meditation at a Buddha birthplace, to being a sought after corporate employee, one thing that he has held on to his practice of mindfulness, which he started as teenagers in India. So he has a strong belief in living the life of one's choice, having been a driving force in his life, and has made it possible for him to garner coaching and corporate experience spanning from India to Africa, USA to Europe and other parts of the world. So without further ado, let us welcome Mr. Kalyan. Yep.
Hey, thanks.
Yep.
Thanks, King.
Yeah. Okay. I will stop the minute. I'll stop the share, and you can.
Right. Good morning, everybody. It would be lovely if we can have the cameras on. So we luckily there are not many of us, so we can have more interactive, participative session that way. Just see if you could do that, if it's going to be possible. And probably I'll put some slides up to give you a brief on the topic, and I'll endeavor to focus more on practice, so we get a glimpse of mindfulness today. Yeah. So how many? Let me start with the question: how many of us here already heard about mindfulness in one way or the other? You can raise hands through Zoom if you're aware.
You can raise hand, or you can actually also tap in the chat. Yep. If you are shy to say, or you can even speak up.
Yes. Please feel free to participate, interact through the session. You can just ask me to pause and we can talk. Hey, Engling, thank you. Thank you. So you can always intrude, just open up your mic and talk if you feel like, yeah. So we have another 45 minutes to go. So I'll try to make best use of it, and participation from your side is welcome. Keep the cameras on if you will. Yeah. All right. So let me just handle this. Yeah. Yeah. Please get your phones off so we have more participation into the session. We straight through to the mindfulness. We'll understand a little about the human mind, and then understand a little bit of what is mindfulness and what are the practices that could help us. Mindfulness is just a word. It's more what we mean is how to train the mind because through the COVID times, we are all going through our own challenges, professional, personal, at a different level. So some basic understanding about our human mind. If we read the user manual of our human mind, probably we can use it much more powerfully. So question for all of you. Is what you experience your reality, or what is real your experience? It looks like a word play, but it's a very serious question. So can I have answers on the chat box, or you can open up the mic and talk? Anyone? Is what your experience your reality? It doesn't matter. There's no right or wrong answer. Just type in something or say it out loud. Is what your experience your reality, or what is real your experience?
Can I say that reality is what people perceive, and real experience is what you've gone through? Just like you face through reality. You
Fair enough.
Reality.
So if you had to pick one among the two, which one will you pick, Kang?
Of course, real experience, I would say.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, for coming in and warming up. Anybody else? We'll at least look for two participants to communicate. Yeah, pick one of these two and tell us which one is true. Totally 11 of us. Too early to respond into the session. Okay, so next one will probably scare you up, but brace for it. It's a scary image. That's probably the tiny us in the devil's hand. Can you see the tiny us stuck up? It's probably a scary dream. Yeah. And what happens when we get a scary dream? We sweat, our lips become dry, fist is tight. We all experience that at some point in time, right? What is that? Was that dream real? No, it was just a bunch of our thoughts. But the experience was real, including the reaction that our body gives. Right? So that's when we are dreaming. What about when we are wide awake? Let's talk about a quick story of an idiot. Right? So, before this, so it so happened that there was a guy, he was celebrating his retirement party. He achieved a lot in his life. And so there were a lot who and who of his life were there in the party, all the biggies of the society that he knew. And in the fine moment of the party, one stranger walks by and calls this guy an idiot and just walks away. And this retired man gets all worried. He takes such an offense. He says, "Oh my goodness, he called me an idiot in front of all my people I knew and my celebration party." He gets frustrated, he gets angry, he can't sleep for the next 2 days. Finally, the third day, he says, "Okay, I have to go to my guru and sort it out. I can't handle this anymore." And he goes to the guru and says this, and the guru says, "A stranger walked past you, spent like 2 seconds to say you're an idiot, and your life is all upside down for the 2 days before you approached me. So probably what he said was true." Meaning probably what the stranger said, that you're an idiot, is true. Probably you are an idiot. So, the moral of the story is, we live such a fragile life at the, ready to fall down, just at the, blink of an eye. Somebody can just look at us strongly, we feel bad already. So if somebody talks a little stronger, we feel bad, we feel down. Somebody at the traffic drives slightly slower, it triggers anger in us. And to an extent that most of us think that anger is natural. It's a natural reaction to happen. Right? So this brings to the point of stimulus and response. Right? Somebody shouting at us could be a stimulus, but how we react to it is completely our will, our choice. It's not an automation. The other person shouting at us has no power on us whatsoever to trigger any emotional, psychological reaction on us. This is scientifically proven. But why we do that, and to the extent that we think that is the other person shouting has created a reaction and we have to blame the other person, is because of the values that we have grown up with and the manual of the human mind that we have not read. Yeah. It's the research says people spend 47% of their working hours thinking about something else, otherwise than what they're doing. Basically, mind wanders. And the conclusion, the last line says human mind is a wandering mind, and a wandering mind is an unhappy mind. Right? Even during sex, it's research says that 10% of the time the mind wanders. So I'm not going to details of the slide, but the gist is important. So I'll scan through. If you see the top picture, which is blue, that is a healthy mind which pays attention to a particular thing, whatever thing that we are doing in this moment. The second picture, which shows red, is a wandering mind. It gives us a life experience of unhappiness and stress. Yeah. So wandering mind is also tend to lead to aging us, faster aging. The more the mind wanders, the faster we age. Another research shows. The mind trap. I would love to have some 30 seconds of meditation or so, but I don't see any participants interacting. So I would be chat. I have some 5 chats. Yes. So I don't have people participating. So I do not know, Okay. So are you all able to hear me? Can I get a yes from in the Q&A, or you can open up the mic and say yes, just for me to know that you're all
yes.
Yes. Wonderful. Wonderful. Let me see. Who did I get a response from just now? Yes, more yeses, please.
I'm hearing from you clearly, Kalyan. I'm hearing it.
Yes, I can hear you clearly. Thank you.
Wonderful. Wonderful. More yeses, please. Right. So I presume the full participation now. You can also say in the chat box, yes, I'm able to hear, show some kind of participation. Yeah. So let's look at this. Let's pause wherever you are right now. You could just watch your body posture. Just sit upright. Open up your shoulders. Keep your back straight. Keep your feet firmly on the ground. If your fist is tight, loosen it up. Just open the palms and keep them open, rested. Just breathe. Breathe into your body. Watch out for any congestion anywhere. Is your forehead congested? Just breathe into it and relax. Relax into your neck at your own pace, no rush. Relax into your back. Just breathe in, relax into your chest. Keep breathing in and breathing out at your own pace. Relax your back, your legs, relax your full body. Relax your eyes. Let go of the need of hearing what next from me. Just relax into this moment. Take few seconds for yourself. Just be fully present within your body. Just focus on the breathe in and breathe out. Keep relaxing your forehead. Nice. With that relaxed you, let's move on to our next slide. So this was a question when, if we got a chance to meditate for 2 minutes, but we just walked into our body. What you just tried is one of the ways to be relaxing through the stressful times, because the stress normally reflects in our body in various forms. It could be that our shoulders are dropping, our fist is tight, our face is shrinking, getting angry and long, or we are not breathing in full, we are breathing shallow, and we are slouching, we're not sitting erect, or we are putting our body posture into closed posture. This is very obvious. So putting awareness to your form, to your body, throws up your stress points open and wide. And as you consciously open up, it helps you relax. Like a simple practice to take home is just keep your fist. Observe your hands whenever you feel like 5 times a day, put an alarm, just observe your hands and keep them open. When you find them closed, just let them open, just keep them open and keep awareness there. It's natural that you lose and you again get into tight fisted arms, but it's fine. The practice is to go back into it. Whenever you find it tight fisted, just open and keep, let the air fall on it and you feel the air on your palm. Yeah. So moving into the next part about mind wandering. So we all complain about meditation. A lot of people, meditation again is just a word. It's about training the mind. It's nothing to do with any religion or any practice. It's just pure science of how to train the mind. So a lot of people say, I sat for 10 minutes, I was meditating, but it was all full of thoughts. It was not anything. My meditation is not successful. That is because the whole premise of meditation is not understood correctly. Meditation is not about not having thoughts, because the nature of the mind is to think. Then what is meditation? It's just about practicing non-judgmental awareness. As we sit to train our mind, the practice is to watch the thoughts and the emotions. We are not wanting it to forcefully go away or invite new thoughts. We're just not indulging at all. We are just constantly practicing to watch, non-judgmentally, just being aware. It's easier said than done because we are so wired to judge and get into thought. I'm angry. No, you have an angry thought. I'm sad. No, you have a sad thought. Because the moment you say I'm angry, there's no choice. You are the anger. But the moment you say I have an angry thought, you are having an angry thought, like you are having this pen. So you can choose to use this pen or keep it aside. You are having an angry thought, so you can choose to just not indulge in it. Because whatever we do, force the mind to do or not to do, the mind will reinforce it many times. For example, the person you don't like is the person you think the most about. That's the nature of the mind. It multiplies whatever you resist. If you surrender, if you don't offer any action, you just watch, it will die on its own. So the key about meditation is just practicing not to indulge, just to watch. Yeah. And mind, the very nature of the mind, it's important to understand, is it's just a database of what is being fed in. It just processes the information, what we feed in. All day we watch violent movies, desperate housewives, and all that. The output from the mind is also going to be proportional to the input that we do to it. So that's the nature of the mind. And the science behind the mind is 99% or over is triggered by unconscious pre-programmed mind patterns that are on an autopilot. We have no control. To give a simple example, if we put fMRI on a human mind, somebody is driving, before the person decides he or she will go left or right, the machine will already tell. So before the decision comes to the conscious mind, the subconscious would have already decided and bringing up to the conscious mind. So the so-called free will and choice are not a possibility. Then what are we doing here if everything is pre-programmed, right? So that's about subconscious mind, how it's driven with our belief systems, where we are born, our religion, gender, surname, whatever we identify with, the mind that becomes a lens for the mind. It only works in the narrow sphere of identity. If I'm a man, if I'm a CFO, my mind starts looking at only that filter, unless I choose to bring awareness to it and take a bigger angle to it, which will come to. So this is what our children play and grow up with. We can imagine, what their mind is going to process as output, right? So the mind, it's important to pause and understand, as a matter of fact, irrespective of reality, it gives us our own life experience with a bunch of thoughts. We can just be wherever. We can be in Princeland, the best place in the world. We can be in the worst place in the world. But it's just the quality of our thoughts that determine our life experience. Yeah, it's not about the situations. Now, what about mindfulness? So mindfulness is the art of looking within. Yeah, I'm sliding through this. So the conscious mind is what we want to access, the power of the conscious mind, which is what we do when we come to breathe in and get to the present moment. We just watch. As we watch, the unconscious mind patterns show up. Then as we stand in the non-judgmental awareness in this moment, we have a place of choice. But if we become the anger, if we become the sadness, if we become the thought and emotion, then we have no choice and we are succumbing to our subconscious mind patterns. But if we breathe in and watch and get aware of these thoughts and emotions and the patterns, we can access the power of our conscious mind. Now the question is, going back to a question, what you experience is your reality, or what is really your experience? Mindfulness is a journey from A to B, is a journey from what we experience is our reality, because no matter where we are, we keep having our own idiosyncrasies through our mind patterns. We seem to be suffering everything because we're not training our mind, to living life with what is real and what we are experiencing, not our thought patterns. That's about mindfulness, and we do it by accessing the power of conscious mind. So the picture speaks 1,000 words, so self-explanatory. The left side is all thoughts and clogged, that's the average person. The right side is a mindful person. Yeah. So the first thing is to acknowledge that we are dreaming, we are going on autopilot, so with the subconscious mind triggers, and we want to use our conscious mind. The moment we are aware, that's a starting point. So the simplest starting point is look into the COVID crisis and what we're going through. We all have our 2, 3, 4 bubbles of thoughts and emotions, the bigger ones that we deal with. It could be work for somebody, it could be business for somebody, it could be spouse for somebody, it could be health for somebody, it could be few of this for few of us. Acknowledging that these are the patterns which are creating that friction within our body, within our mind, is the first step. Because once you acknowledge, next time when it shows up, you know that, oh, okay, this is creating the trigger. The moment you know, you can breathe in and use your own pointers to pause and watch, be aware and not judge. So this is just a saying from Reveres on mindfulness. You can read up subsequently. I'll skip this for now. This is William James, the father of American psychology. The faculty of voluntarily bringing back a wandering attention over and over again is a very root of judgment, character, and will. So this shows the importance of accessing the conscious mind and being aware. A lot of benefits to mindfulness. I'll skip this. We all know now, it's established science that mindfulness is powerful. So we all find it difficult to pay attention. How many times did we try? What's the effort we are putting? Now we've all learned this, or most of us at least, right? Before learning the balancing, it looked impossible to do it. It just looked impossible. But after we've done this, it just is we don't even think, it just happens, right? Unfortunately, mindfulness is not like that. Conscious mind has to be, we have to be talking about getting into balancing act every day as we spend time. But fortunately, it's a blessing, because that's the only way you can take full control, and it only happens in this moment, real time. It's not about doing a lot of effort, reading a lot of textbooks, doing a lot of sessions like this. It is nothing of that sort. It is just about harnessing this moment. This moment only comes one at a time. We don't have bunch of moments coming to us at any point in time. It's always this moment, and we have only thing that we have to sort out is this present moment. As you listen to me, this moment is all that you have to look at, be present, and pay full attention to whatever you choose to do in this moment. That is all it takes. No baggage. In fact, baggage, theories, and to-dos in the next moment and the next week and the next month go against us. Just being fully present in whatever you choose to do, just being in full sync with it and doing it. That's all matters. So you're balancing it every single day. So applying mindfulness, like I just said, your search is your finding. That's the beauty of it. As we watch, oh, I got into the spiral of my thoughts again. It's fine, because we understand that the nature of mind is to think. So we respect that. We don't react. Oh, why has my mind wandered? But because that again will trigger another round of reactions. We just say, we respect what you did, but whenever we come back to awareness, we breathe in and, okay, just watch with a smile, just be watching it. That's all it takes. So this is the key slide about everyday practice into mindfulness. So many things you can pick what you would like to do on a daily basis as you practice being aware and accessing your conscious mind more powerfully. The first point here is I'll spend like a minute on each one of them, and I'll give it all to you for Q&A. Luckily, we are about 8 people, I think, the participants, so we could have some 1 or 2 questions from each one of you if time permits. So surrender to what is. So please observe that we have a nature to resist as a first default reaction. Like a bike passes by on the road with a lot of noise, immediately there's a reaction triggered within us. Where did the reaction come from? It's the subconscious mind trigger. So looking at the reaction, if there is friend, giving a negative reaction to the friend, or if you're on a call to talk to somebody impolitely, instead of that, just accessing the power of this moment, watching into the reaction, just breathing into it and getting into a place of conscious mind and choice. That's powerful. Anything you see, you please observe the triggers that we have. We surrender to this moment because it already is, and it's not negative. Surrender doesn't mean we give up everything. Surrender just means that because something already is. If I don't like this pen, oh, why is this pen here? I don't like the color, is all mental diarrhea, right? I just need to make a choice of changing this or keeping it. So surrender only means something that already is, we refuse to resist. We just peacefully, completely accept as if we have chosen it. That acceptance settles down so much of air in the mind and the body that it leaves a lot of space for us to act and not react. That space creates powerful living experience in this moment. That way, surrendering to the present moment is such a powerful practice. It doesn't matter what it is, whatever the moment is, it already is. So constantly being in sync with it. Focusing on breathing, body scanning, like we just tried for a few seconds. It's the simplest way because the mind-body thought patterns show up in the human mind, in our own body. So as we try the tricks that we have just said, opening up the body, shoulders, and just taking a stroll, breathing in, are powerful practices. Cultivating mindful attitude. You are all in this session. That means you care about training your mind. So you're already taken many steps towards mindfulness and developing a mindful attitude. Congratulations to all of you. So this could be done through daily reminders. What is important is that daily reminders, like we all have smartphones, just take an alarm every 2 hours. Just breathe in each 2 hours when there's a dong. It could be a small dong, even at work you can put. Just breathe. Check in your patterns, check in your body. Are you processing your emotions, or you're driven by anything pre-programmed? In fact, for everybody at work, you can pass this on, because it's proven that this pause is like gold dust. It improves personal experience and improves productivity manyfold. Just pausing when the dong bell rings and the alarm rings, and breathing in and breathing out. And another powerful way is the senses, the 5 senses, like listening, tasting, hearing, touch, and smell. Yeah, I'm a very strong smell guy, so I love scents, candles. It makes me very present. A nice perfume, gentle, makes me very present. It could be something else for you. It could be as music for you. It could be not necessarily music, any sound, even silence for that matter. Just the silence between the sounds. Just the silence when I paused for 3 seconds just now, that is a gateway to present moment. Because as you're looking, oh, what is the silence? Is it that he paused, or is the audio disturbance? Before the chatter of is it this or that, that pause is you being present, being aware. We spoke about watching thoughts and feelings inside our body. Particularly when we are facing challenging situations, interviews or a big sales call, when we feel very nervous, anxious, just checking into the body is a very powerful practice. A lot of people I know, even in Google, and seen it when alumni, my colleagues in Colombia and all that, so many people practice that and they find it great. Body postures we discussed. Open your postures and open up your chest. Have a smile on your face. That's wonderful mindfulness practice. Because you can't have, the moment you smile, that very moment, you have opened up, you're being present. You cannot be not present and give a smile. So that itself is a mindfulness practice. Of course, aligning your life purpose, we all have, I'm a coach and you have various powerful coaches. Good to be with coaches, because if you align your life, the easiest way to live, not many are aligned to their life purpose, and you can live life otherwise too. You may not be fully on your life purpose, but you can surrender to whatever you're doing and use the mindfulness practices to have the best life. But the easiest way to live is to find out your life purpose and values and live according to that. Right? That's a activity in itself. The best, Winfrey, Oprah to Bill Gates to Bill Clinton, all the best guys have coaches. That's why they have coaches. The coach will help them identify their own purpose in life and calling. There are many ways. But yeah, if you are looking for a coach, I think you should take a step forward to get a coach and have a discovery session of where you are, what you are, where your heart is, where your mind is. Those are powerful questions to answer. That will also help you to get mindful much, much more easily. Avoid multitasking. This is a big step. We all think we are being more efficient, but the data proves otherwise. Multitasking is inefficient. So don't juggle up the TV to the Netflix, to the office meetings and all that. Just be at peace. Do one thing at a time. When you're brushing, just focus on brushing. When you're washing your hands, just in that moment, feel the wash, fall of the water on your hand, feel the touch. Yeah. So we said mind is garbage in, garbage out. So another easy way to get mindful is, if you're, like, for example, whichever script you like, if you listen to something peaceful for 2 days, nothing else. Love to human beings, give love to others, don't judge, be nice, and everybody is contributing. If you are just there like that with 2 days, with just inputs to the mind being all nice, imagine the 3rd day morning, you cannot have an angry thought. You will be blissed out with no effort on mindfulness, because mind is garbage in, garbage out. So the simple thing you can do is just give the right inputs to mind. Don't watch anything violent, anything giving you any other triggers. Automatically you'll be peaceful. There's no other way. So yeah, screen time, phones being off. We all hear this all the time. These are equally powerful aspects. So that's for me in terms of what I have to say. We're just nicely in the last leg of Q&A. So I leave the slide onto this and leave the floor to everybody to ask me questions.
Good. Anyone have any questions for me? I guess within that now COVID situation, everybody have a lot of things in mind, a lot of stress that we have. So I guess it's a good time to take care of our mindfulness and to make sure that we are in a good condition, so that I guess that would also help us from getting sort of, I wouldn't say vaccinated, but keep us away from the illness. Yeah, I guess.
And to everybody,
immunity, yeah.
And to everybody, good thing. Your questions not only help you, also help others who might have the same question or don't know about the question or who shy to ask the question. So please feel free to ask.
I would say that yes, it's easy to, as we know that mindfulness is important, but I guess focusing is actually one of the tough thing that we are able to do, because I guess given that a lot of things that happen, we are staying at home and focusing at home. Of course, to go out to look for coaches at this moment, it probably will be online. And I guess that is something probably like you, how are you going to do it alone, you see? That's something that we also have, we may not be able to do it ourselves.
Yes. So was there a question for me, Kang?
Yep. I would say that probably, I think that is something that probably I would face for it, is that no, by doing it on your own is actually very difficult, because the focusing, there's a lot of distraction, there's a lot of technology like your phones and your thing that coming in. So I guess a lot of distraction. So how do we avoid this distraction actually?
Okay, wonderful, Kang. That's a very powerful question and probably a hint to everybody that you've given. Yes, so the things that you're doing, right, you're attending this session. I think that's the help you take. And today's world, there's a click of a button, there's Google, there is YouTube. There's so many apps which come free of cost or with so little cost, which will give you powerful pointers to mindfulness. So you can use them and you can get to communities, online communities and forums where you can practice together, or you can have a coach, to guide you. So all these, and you can also self-practice depending on your mode. Some people like to do it on their own and they find it efficient. For Kang, probably it's having a group of people, some tips or an app. It's also a smart thing to figure out what suits us to keep our practice going and take action from there. So, but thank you very much, Kang, for the question. The important one.
Actually, given that, I also have a question on it, is that, yes, being mindfulness is actually, we want to keep away from our technology. But looking from the apps, in actually, we are using technology to actually keep the mindfulness. So I guess the balance between it is going to be a challenge in a way.
Oh, Kang, see, I'm a CFO of a technology company. I'm all game for technology. Yeah. We're all in today's moment. We're not trying to be in the woods and doing our own thing. By all means, if technology helps, I'm sure it does. By all means, but yes, opening the app and you get stuck with YouTube. That's the thing we have to manage. Yeah, it's a good thing you said.
Mo, my reason for saying that is actually when I open my phone to see the apps, I always keep seeing my WhatsApp coming up. that is where we actually face the problem, because it's something that you don't want to see, but then yet if you see it, then you will have to address it in that sense.
Yeah.
So that's the trade-off in actual fact by doing that.
Absolutely. So okay, yeah, I leave the floor for others to chip in and. It's very nice of this free webinars that we get an excellent opportunity to interact, and when particularly people are less, This is the time you want to really ask something and be useful to yourself and everybody else. Please, I would sincerely request that you throw up your questions.
Yep. Anyone have any questions that you want?
Cure Leak, if I got your name right, please go for it.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Thank you for your sharing. And actually, I also used to request Reverse Academic to conduct this kind of topic. Luckily, you have. We are here now. I have. I need your advice because currently, because COVID everywhere, so the company had to turn and change our working culture by apply working online and everyone staying at home. So my question: how we influence mindfulness at working place currently?
How to improve mindfulness at workspace? Is that about your question?
Yes.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So your office space is lucky to have you. I think that's a wonderful question you have. So all these pointers, right, in this slide that you're looking at, if you can, this can be practiced as a group, even more better. For example, start of a meeting, right? We all have our own agendas or our own emotions to a particular topic. Some are for, some are against. So when we are starting the meeting, it's good to put the topic on the whiteboard and the emotions that we are going through or the we are carrying, the defense that we might, somebody wants to defend a point, somebody wants to make a point. So good to acknowledge the emotions that we are processing at a point in time as a team. Good to breathe in. A lot of companies do. Google has a dedicated team which teaches people to get mindful at various points in time into their work life. So just practicing 30 seconds of breathing in and watching your body before meeting starts, or having a 2-hour dong as an office reminder, just to breathe in and being present. These are amazing tools, all that in this slide for that matter. So will help enhance mindfulness at work. I hope that has answered your question.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks for the question, and more, please.
Yeah.
Who is next?
Anyone have any questions for our trainer? I guess it's a good opportunity that if you are facing any issues, you can actually talk to our trainer and probably he can offer some good advice for you. Yeah.
And you can just open up your mic and speak. You don't have to raise your hand. Yeah.
I guess the most important about mindfulness is open your mind. Yep, to speak. Yeah.
Wonderful.
So I guess that would actually be good for everybody. Yeah.
We have 8 more minutes before we have a hard close.
Yeah. Just take the opportunity to ask whatever questions you have, maybe not just work, but also individual. So yeah. So probably you will be able to get certain guidance from there. As we have said, our initiative for Reveres Academy is not just to actually speak about technology topics, and also sometimes we also want to do some mindfulness for our audience also. Yeah.
Or you could share your experience. Why are you here today, right? Okay, let's do this round. Maybe you can share why are you here today. Who's going to go first? We have 7 more minutes. Yes. Kimberly.
I still not like I try to practice because count as a COVID in Cambodia. We try to apply working online and staying at home since April until now. I don't have chance to go anywhere, job lock at home and working online, turn on the computer. It's very hard, especially for miscommunication a lot. And I try to awake myself, remind myself, wake up early, doing exercise, drink water, reading book, meditation, and listen to the Buddha advice. Everything I keep practice to calm down myself. But until now, because we don't have a chance to travel anywhere, I think this all practice could not help me anymore.
You mean, so you find it very helpful, huh? All this practice that you've been doing?
The first impression very fresh and very helpful. I also try to create a cross sharing to all as a team member, but until now it's take long time. And even though we try to keep practice as a good habit and think positive, but we still need to travel because it's so stressful to compare working 8 hours at office physically and working online is very hard, and it also like so headache sometimes after turn out the computer at the evening. I cannot do anything because it very much headache and until I got vomit.
So, Like you have raised a very important point. Let me, I think, use the next couple of minutes that we have for clearing this one. So, see, the surrender, because COVID situation is there, working from home is a reality, at least for the next month or so or few months. And we've been practicing this surrendering to what is the reality today. Surrendering means accepting to what is the reality fully, as if we have chosen it, right? That's the point. The question to ask is, have we really accepted it? That means there's no congestion in the heart as you're working from home. And have you accepted it fully? The test is, even if you have to do this for the next 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, you have no resistance within your body, within your mind. That's the true test of, have you really accepted this fact in this moment? Because if you truly accepted it as if you have chosen it, there is no congestion anymore. You are like feather. You are like feather. If there's a choice, you don't want it in the next moment is a different thing. Because there's no choice, you, as a matter of practice, you are completely accepting it. Because otherwise the resistance takes a lot of your energy. You become very light, feather-like, as you work from home. 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, doesn't matter. It's not there tomorrow, doesn't matter. But because you're doing it today, you're doing it with full acceptance. 100% acceptance, 0% resistance. That's the whole practice is all about. So you're never taking energy to on the negative side of why it is there. Don't wish it to be not there and invest your energy on it. Be fully in sync and accept it 100%. Yeah, thank you for the question. I got a chance to share with everybody. I hope this is of value. Ken, go over to you. I think we are getting to the close. Yeah, go on.
One more question. One more question, please.
Yeah, sure.
To accept it? How to accept it? Because we know it, that it's not good. For example, you know the tiger in front of you. How can you accept it as it's a cat? It's not a cat, it's a tiger. We're still afraid. So how can we stop afraid of this? We cannot accept because we know it. The truth is stress. How can we do it?
Right. So the question, Chenny Bol, of yours is coming from the belief system that resistance, feeling bad, is natural. So that's where the trigger is. If you, for example, if you look at a small example of your kid, right? Many of you, I'm sure, have kids. Kids could just say, I want the chocolate. That chocolate is just out of stock. You're not able to buy. I want the chocolate. I want it. And the kid cries. What would you tell the kid? I will get it to you. It's not there right now. So there's no point crying over it. Because it's a fact. There's no point of crying over a fact which already is. Same thing applies to us. Same thing applies to any situation. COVID is there, is a reality. So either we choose to not accept it and keep the trigger on and get a lot of our energy sucked into it, or be aware of the fact that it is and it is a reality and be 100% in sync with it. How to be in sync with it is a constant practice. Breathing in and checking that the unconscious mind pattern is triggering the reaction, and that the reaction is futile. It is not serving a purpose, and seeping into the energy of your conscious mind and getting into your energy level of your body, breathing in and being present, breathing in and being present. That's the practice that we talk about. Chini Wobil, Chini Vibol, I hope I've answered your question.
Yeah, I got it,
Yeah.
but actually I cannot do it. Just only thinking and practice does not work for me. Thank you.
Actually, I do agree that it's difficult, but of course, in life we always have to try. That's the important thing about it. Yeah, because the thing is that I also agree that by resisting it, it actually doesn't help. Then sometimes you have to go with the flow. That's the thing. Yeah.
King, I may want to add a quick thing on Chini Vibol. I think he has a point. It's just that, see, the longest of the journey to be made, it starts with the first step. And as long as the step is towards the goal and not away from it, we will get there. But if we keep triggering and blaming COVID or blaming spouse or blaming office or blaming the business laws or blaming something else, we are going the other side. We will never reach our destination. So mindfulness is all about going in the right direction. It's long distance for somebody, it's short distance for somebody because of where we are at different points in our life and our mind. But it's important to go the right direction because every step counts, and one step out of the destination is in sight. Yeah. Yep. Thank you very much, everybody. I think that's all from my side. Kang, over to you.
Yep. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for participating, and thank you for your mindfulness speech, and I think it's quite engaging to us. Yep. And okay. So we will end this webinar, and thank you all for your participation, and we hope to see you soon. Yeah.